No, it's not, mate. Because in Mexico, then nobody wears sombreros, man. You know what that's like? That's like you go into France and then expecting everyone to wear
garlic around their
neck
and
the black and red striped jumpers. You know what I mean? It's a stereotype.
All right, fair enough.
Sombrero. Mate, I'm talking about those big sombreros.
Are you sure no one wears a sombrero?
I lived in Mexico, mate. Nobody wears the big sombreros like that.
Do they wear medium sombreros?
They might wear it, like farmers might wear it, like you get farmers wear a hat everywhere to cover their head from the sun.
Yeah.
Not those massive ones.
Okay.
That you get. Wait, just put your sombrero away. He's wearing a sombrero. Also, on Twitter, somebody was watching Friends. Remember Friends?
Yeah.
And then these snowflakes.
Yeah.
They were complaining about it. They were saying, if you watch Friends again, it's very offensive. Did you remember?
Yeah, some things don't date well, do they?
Yeah. Do you remember? I think Little Britain dates really bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I just say, Little Britain?
Do you remember the one where they couldn't understand the Asian woman? Just didn't understand anything that she used to say.
What was the one when he dresses up and he's like, he's got goofy teeth my
There's
goodness.
Loads of.
That is bad. And
relentlessly.
there's one where the guy blacks up, doesn't he? And he's a Jamaican woman
he's a
or
big
something.
fat woman.
Yeah,
it's true.
And also, you know the guy that goes, yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's offensive because he just runs around
and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the one where the woman pukes anytime she realizes that like a black or an Asian person
has
made the food. I'm not saying the things ain't funny. I'm saying they do not date well at all.
It doesn't date well, does it? But yeah, so let's just go watching Friends. I'll be like, watch this show.
Exactly.
But do you remember Monica in Friends was really fat when she was younger? And whenever they always did a flashback.
Okay,
and then it was like, and they were like, oh, she, and then they always made jokes of that, and they said. There's so much fat shaming going on in this episode. It makes me cringe. That's what somebody on Twitter said. Apparently there was.
That's stupid though.
But why?
People want to. So if you go to the gym, are you body shaming because you're trying to lose weight? So you're saying there's something wrong with being that.
I think that some of the jokes were about her being fat. You know.
Yeah, as in what? Just fat jokes, or you used to be fat?
No, fat jokes, I think.
All right.
Yeah, you know.
Mate, then we've got nothing to joke about. There's so many things that we take away.
If we can't laugh at fat people, we've got nothing to laugh about. Mate, I'm beginning to think you're...
I just mean in general. If every little thing we take away and say, oh, you can't laugh at that, and you can't laugh at that, and you can't laugh at that, and you can't laugh at that, what are we laughing at, mate?
I'm beginning. I've heard this speech before.
Is it because I want fat people in sombreros? Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, man. Yeah, apparently it's homophobic and transphobic as well.
What, Friends?
Friends, because remember Chandler Bing?
Yeah.
His dad was was Kathleen Turner, basically. Yeah, and then she says stuff. Apparently, Chandler says stuff like, "Don't you have a little too much penis to be wearing a dress like that?"
Oh, for real.
So they, they're saying it's. If Friends, this is what one person said on Twitter. If Friends was on today, jokes about Chandler's dad would be transphobic, and Monica's flashbacks would be fat shaming. Ross met a male nanny and he's not impressed because he's a male. What's a male doing?
But then by the end of it, was the nanny employed?
That's the thing. Sometimes though, like the sitcoms do that, so they make a big thing of that's a stupid idea.
Exactly. And it's the person's journey from one side or one way of thinking to another.
You got to think as well, like if people are writing characters, they're not writing
perfect characters.
They're not writing like this is what you should think.
Exactly.
That's that character.
Yeah.
I know, like people have a big problem with Roseanne. She's a racist and all the rest of it. But her character as Roseanne was meant to be like a Trump supporting. Yeah. And I think in sitcoms you don't really get that. You don't get someone who is on that side, do you? You always get someone that's against Trump, which is fair enough. But then it's good to you're writing a character that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It kind of reminds me of the echo chamber situation that you have online and in social media, where you only ever get reflections of people who are like you. You're not exposed to the other side of thinking or another type of person. So sometimes you've got to have those on represented. The same way that we want to represent genders and different sexual orientations and all of this, we've got to represent bigots as well, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think that
so you're aware of that, and then you know how to...
Exactly.
Deal with it.
Otherwise, we go through that same old thing of you're never exposed to it. So when it happens in real life, you're fully unaware and ill-equipped to deal with it.
Also, universities are being blamed a lot
for liberal thinking,
snowflaking. I just made that as a. But for being so universities are pandering to students and deliberately avoiding anything that could be offensive. MPs and Lords were warned today, and some students' unions have. It says here, police state King's College spend £12 an hour on safe space marshals to police speaker events and check no one voices offensive views. So they're paid. The people that are being paid with clipboards
to write down anything offensive.
Yeah, making sure that that nothing's being said. And then you can see, like, we'll put this picture on the show note. But it says there, this is a safe space, and so it means you can't say anything offensive in it. You know?
What does that mean? You can't say anything offensive.
Yeah.
But then, what if I'm offended at that very concept?
You just come in with your sombrero. You get your nachos going. Where's the Mexican party at? Exactly. I don't think you'd be welcome.
You know what? Yeah, listen. If I had more time, I would go to those things just to like filibuster and say I'm offended at the fact of I'm offended at the lack of offensive comments. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there's no one offensive here. That's why I've turned up.
This is not the real world.
And you know Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
He stopped performing at universities, and he says it's because of that. It's because of the snowflake generation. They're too careful. He's been at gigs where they're like, "Oh, that's offensive," and he's like, "It does." You know, he's a comedian from the 80s,
exactly.
man. They used to say everything then.
But this is it as well, though. Oh. We're living in new times, mate. I'm just thinking about all these things. Certain comedians can't get where they need to.
It's harder now, isn't it?
Kevin Hart was meant to present the Oscars.
Yeah,
and that's gone out of the window because he made some allegedly homophobic tweets a few years ago. Yeah. I saw something on the news in the morning where some not activists but people were saying, well, he says that this was the old him and not the new him. If there were comments he'd made when he was 13 or 14 and he's since changed his views, that'll be fine. But he made these comments 5 years ago when he was 33, and by that time you're too grown to be able to change your mind from this to the other, something along those lines. And I was like, oh, this is what it's going to be. Anytime you're in the limelight, you're going to get chased down through any comments you've previously made.
Yeah. Well, do you remember there was, I think it was a few months ago, the new editor of the New York Times, she's an American Asian, and a long time ago on her Twitter, she said something about white people, basically, saying, oh, I love it when white people are so offended and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then obviously someone's going to take a picture of that, and now they're like, how dare she, you know, which is, I mean, and, you know, she's got people who agree with that and who don't, but then you've got to be really careful what you say now, isn't it?
It's going to be some mad Big Brother society before long. Everything you say, Alexa's recording everything that you say.
Yeah.
Twitter's, anything on the internet is there forever.
Right, I just found another thing. Cambridge University. So I don't know if any of these are true because they are from a source that isn't that credible. So I've got to admit. But it says Cambridge University have started issuing trigger warnings about Shakespeare. These advise new students that they might be upset by discussion of sexual violence if they are brave enough to attend lectures about the bard's work. That's that little the last bit, the writing of that.
But then isn't that part of the whole when you study literature and things
like
this.
You won't know about Shakespeare at a university.
Who? If you don't know about now, it's a little bit late.
Who's that now?
But you're meant to be exploring those things and what the world was like back in those days and why that influenced the way that they formed their prose or their poetry or their plays or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
it's
you shouldn't be getting triggered off of things like that.
It's of that time as well. Like you're taking things from the past and you're bringing it here.
Exactly. And you're expecting it to live up to all of the social standards that aren't even set in stone right now, that are still being formulated, that are still like molten right now. They've not been set. They're not hard and firm rules or laws or anything like this. We're still trying to figure that all out. And then you're trying to hold historical events and things to that standard. It's ridiculous, mate.
Definitely.
But this is an argument that I don't think will get through to a lot of people. Some people are just very narrow-sighted towards their own opinion.
I just think you're just stuck in the past, mate. That's what
mate, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying I'm all for the future, but understand that there's a difference between the future and the past. You can't use criteria from now to analyse context from before.
It's an easy way, isn't it, to just stop the argument. You know what I mean? Just saying, well, you're a snowflake. You're this, but
then you never have the conversation.
The thing is, now with Twitter and everything else, anyone can voice their opinion. So that person who said about Friends, like he wasn't a famous person. It was just someone that's going Friends and then hashtag Friends, and someone else was watching Friends, and loads of people retweeted it. Like before, we didn't have that when some guy on the street can voice their opinion,
and everyone would reference that.
And there would always be that person who found everything offensive. But now they've got that limelight now.
If they've got the time, they've got the platform.
And if anything, because the papers that I'm getting all of these from are the ones that are like, these snowflakes. So they're looking for it.
Yeah, it's true.
And there probably wasn't even a big thing, but they made it a big thing because they want to kind of belittle the younger generation and just say, look at them, they're all just pansies. Who's scared of Mexican hats?
Mate. Well, look, you say.
Go on.
Let me not go back to it, but
go on.
What about there's?
Are you going back to the Mexican hat again?
I'm going back to the Mexican hat. Listen, did you know that plenty of curries that are sold here in the UK, under the guise of being Indian cuisine, don't exist in India?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So even that in itself is kind of building on the. I don't know if it's a stereotype or just it's a westernized version of something they might have over there, or an exaggerated version.
Yeah, but the sombrero isn't a westernized version of a Mexican hat. It's exaggerated, yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm mulling over that, man.
Well,
hashtag save the sombrero.
All I'm saying, you wouldn't wear a sombrero hat anywhere else. Except if you were going to be...
you wouldn't go to...
and you know what?
You wouldn't go to India and order a chicken korma.
What? Probably not, but that's...
Yeah, because it doesn't exist over there.
Well, but sombrero... What? What are you talking about? But you know sombreros?
I don't know, man.
You don't know, do you? But you know... But what I'm saying is... I think in America, you definitely couldn't be just walking around in some big sombrero like that. The amount of Mexicans over there. Mate, I think here you're alright to wear some massive...
Do ponchos exist? Is a poncho real?
Only posh women wear ponchos.
Even in Mexico?
No, they wear ponchos.
So if this restaurant had all of their employees wearing a poncho, would that have the same...
I think it's the fact that ponchos, it's there to make you warm, and also that it's not an exaggerate. With sombrero there, but you know, we're talking about
I can imagine novelty sombreros.
Not just a normal farmer hat.
Yeah. I can imagine them bringing what's it called?
By the way, sombrero means hat in Spanish. So someone's just like, they're saying sombrero, but not a hat.
I can actually imagine that restaurant going too far, and what's it called? Someone's wearing a sombrero, and all the entrees, all the starters are actually on the rim of the sombrero, and they just pick it up and put it on the table for you. Yeah.
Homer Simpson had a nacho hat, didn't they?
Did he?
That he yeah. But I reckon, and then all the Latino sort of called Gonzales, Speedy Gonzalez.